Hey gang, it's time for another retro games review. Let's see what I can find.
Oh, come on. I've already done Curse of the Idol. Whoa. Forbidden Bridge? Cool.
Roll the new titles.
Well, it's been a while since the Attic's done that. Hi, I'm Luke and welcome to the 50th episode of Down from the Attic, and oh man, have I got a game to show you today. This is Forbidden Bridge, one of Milton Bradley's best games. Let's take a look at this thing. First off, box art, and seriously, I'd have this as a print on my wall. It's got that Drew Schusen look like the Curse of the Idol, that classic movie poster look. It looks fantastic. And this is a big box, huge, and considering the contents, it needs to be. 4 river walls, 4 cliff clips, 4 boats, 4 explorers, the bridge, the cliffside, the idle cliff, the riverboard, 16 jewels and 2 custom dice. The cliff, idle and bridge pieces are massive, easily some of the biggest game components I've ever seen. All the pieces are made out of really robust plastic. It's built to last, and it has. Assembled, I mean, wow. Just look at this thing. What a game board! Seriously, what kid wouldn't want to play this? It's superb. I will say this though, its footprint on a table, it's not that big. Like, don't get me wrong, it's big, but not huge. However, the verticality of this will certainly grab attention. In the game, you'll navigate your canoe up the river, onto the embankment and climb the cliff. From there, you'll need to navigate the Forbidden Bridge to the idol and collect 2 ruby gems. Put them in your canoe, sail to the cave to win, but the other explorers and the idol will not make this easy. Everyone starts in their canoe at the cave in the river. You roll the dice, both of them, 1 for movement and 1 for special actions. I will say this now and get it right out of the way. The board, the actual cardboard section to this game at the bottom of the board, isn't the greatest. The instructions don't make it clear where the spaces are, and neither does the board. There's no lines to define each space, and this has led to some disputes before. Do you count these logs and rocks as spaces, or are they dividers for spaces? I sure as hell count them as spaces, but this is something to definitely establish before a game to prevent arguments. I'll go into this deeper soon. With my only criticism out of the way, let's continue with looking at this superb game. Once at the riverbank, you begin to climb up to the bridge. The movement die is pretty easy to follow. The special action die, this is where it gets fun and interesting. There's 3 different actions on here. Roll the gem, and if you're in a space with someone carrying a gem, before you move, you can steal the gem from them. Or, if you can move to someone carrying a gem, you can steal that gem from them there. Oh yes, let them do the legwork and snatch it from them. I love it when you can screw over players like this. You might also roll the Explorer, which allows you to move a player along a bridge space. The bridge planks have enough space for 3 players, 3 different spaces, and you can move a player from a safer spot to a much more dangerous one. Again, I love this vindictiveness. And last of all, there's the idol. When you roll this, you press the idol before moving. It takes precedence over everything. You press down on his head. And the most impressive thing is, all this is clockwork, no batteries at all. As the idol's head rises, his hands will rock and shake the bridge and send explorers tumbling into the river. There is never a time where activating this isn't an absolute blast.
And you might think, well, surely there's going to be times when you activate the idol that there's nobody on the bridge, so there's no point, is there? Ah, well, you'd be wrong.
The idol can finish shaking the bridge and leave it at a wonky angle, which really affects your positioning of your explorers. You absolutely don't want to slide off and start all over again.
The idol isn't the only impressive part of this game. The bridge and the figures are exceptionally well designed.
Seriously, Milton Bradley were on their A game with this. The planks to the bridge are all differently moulded and designed, and yeah, someone had to make them this way. That's effort. You'll see that on certain planks there's holes to slide through, but there's also these hooks. The base of your playpiece has holes that you can slot your explorer over into these hooks to stop them from falling off the bridge. There's little hooks on the side of the bridge too, and you can fall and dangle by your bootlaces. I mean, wow, this is just incredible design. The curved arm on the explorers also give them a chance of hooking themselves onto railings and holes as they fall. It's thrilling to see your explorer dangling and fighting to stay on the bridge as it rocks and rolls. Rolling the explorer and lifting an opponent from a safety hook to a slot where they could easily slip and fall, it's devilish fun. Getting safely across the bridge, you take a gem, and another neat bit of design here, you slot it into the explorer's backpack. You now need to make it safely back across, but your opponents will be looking to scupper your attempts and maybe steal your jewel, and if you and your gem fall, well, it's a massive hindrance. But not entirely. Gems stay where they fall unless they fall in the river. If a gem has fallen into the jungle, you can opt to run and get it, and with no risk of losing it by falling, it's definitely a tactic to consider. What's even more irritating is if your explorer is caught on a hook, slips and drops the gem, but is still on the bridge. You're separated from your treasure! And this will happen through the course of a game. It's hilarious to other people, but so annoying when it happens to you. Get your gems successfully to your canoe and you can deposit it, but you'll need another to head through the cave. And when you have your second gem in your backpack, you can guarantee that every move explorer roll will be directed at you. Your opponents will make it as difficult as possible for you. Get to the canoe with your second gem, sail for the cave, and you win! There's some house rules that I've implemented with Forbidden Bridge that I've found make it more fun. As mentioned, the board. Having the canoes have to stop on logs and rocks as they navigate the river slows the progress along the river. Hey, they're obstacles, it makes sense. It also gives other players a last-ditch chance to chase someone with 2 gems and steal them from them. Another rule I put in place is that one of your gems has to be retrieved by you. It's too easy to wait around the jungle floor and pick up drop gems and avoid the bridge entirely, and it just ruins the fun. You're a plucky explorer, aren't you? Prove it! Go on, go across the bridge! The biggest change I add when I'm playing this game is with the bridge itself.
Those of you who've owned this game or played this game will know what's missing from my bridge. The railings.
I have them, but I just find keeping them off the bridge makes it that more dangerous. And with all the hooks and the ways to stay safe, well, explorers weren't falling off as much as I'd like them to, and this felt wrong to me. If there's no threat to the bridge, it kinda makes it pointless. So remove those railings and keep it more dangerous.
So, final thoughts. This is peak Milton Bradley in my opinion. It just shows how inventive and creative they were when it came to the games.
This was extreme effort, large custom pieces, enormous amounts of care and design, exciting and fun, and hilarious action. I adore this game. The creativity involved with the making of this is exceptional. The design of the bridge and the figures, the mechanics behind the idol, little details like his flapping mouth and the etchings in the wall. You can tell that they cared about this, and it genuinely shows. Putting your opponents in harm's way, stealing their gems and sending them tumbling off the bridge will never get old. Forbidden Bridge is a classic deserving of the name classic game. It is not, however, cheap. Far from it. And again, I got seriously lucky finding my copy on eBay. £26. It's peanuts compared to the £90 to £200 people are asking for complete sets. And with all the tiny pieces such as the railings and the gems, finding a complete copy is like finding a dodo egg.
If you're able to come across a copy at a decent price and complete, snap that thing up immediately. This game is worth your attention. It's an absolute blast. Well, as always, thanks again for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.